This is a video demonstration of band heating. If you haven't already watched my videos on the 18 rules of posture, I'd suggest watching that prior to this. Also, I tend to like to do the joint looseners prior to this, so you may want to access that video as well. But band heating is a practice that's used to strengthen the tendons, and it can be done before any martial art, Tai Chi, or Qigong practice. So we start band heating with loosening up the wrists. So take your fingers and imagine them long, like they have straws that are dipping into the energy of the earth. And as you circle the wrists, let the fingers pull you down towards the ground, okay? And get nice circles out of each wrist. Try to keep your elbows and your shoulders down and relaxed as you circle the wrists, and we can do 10 to the right and 10 to the left. You can curl each finger if you'd like, and then circling the other way. This is great for those of us who sit at a computer a lot, typing in our phone. Gets the wrists moving. You can feel any crackling as you get the joint moving. And then from here, we're going to move into the elbows. Okay, so we're going to take our arms up, and now we're just going to get the elbow joint moving. Right, so we're circling one direction, shoulders remain down, crown lifts, knees soft, checking in with our 18 rules of posture as we circle the elbows one direction, and then we circle the other direction. Really feel that the only circling that's happening is happening from the elbow here, okay? The wrists and the shoulders stay out of it. And next we're going to move into shoulder rolls. I like to try to feel this throughout the whole body. There's almost like a rippling of the spine as we roll our shoulders forward 10 times. So feel into that as you roll your shoulder back, up and forward and down. Notice that the knees bend and the spine ripples with each roll. And move backward. So you can really exaggerate this motion if it feels good to you. You can also do it a little less exaggerated, whatever's right for you. Try to keep the hands near your sides. You don't want to be using other muscles to circle the shoulders, okay? We're going to move into the neck. Look up and to the right, and then circle forward, and look up and to the left, and circle forward. Do that a couple more times. If you start to feel dizzy, just back off a little bit, okay? Up to the left. And then now let's circle the whole head around. You can do 3 to 5 circles each direction. Loosening up all the head and neck muscles, keeping your shoulders down. Only doing what's comfortable for you. Good. So next we're going to move into a forward fold. So come up and then curl the spine down. I actually like to use the arms here, and I come up and I pull my spine down one vertebrae at a time. Really try to sense into that. Okay, and then as you get to the bottom here, you can hold on to opposite elbows and just let yourself hang for a moment and feel how good that feels in the hamstrings. And if you'd like, you can bring your elbows over to the right foot, getting a little bit of side stretch, and then to the left foot, and then to the center. And as you come up, bend your knees, flatten your spine, and then come on up. For this next exercise, what we're going to do is bring both hands up as if you're trying to press your palms up to the sky, okay? And your fingers are facing each other here. And then imagine like there's a rope attached to your left palm and allow it to pull you up. Feel the rest of your body just get loose as if you're being pulled up by a rope attached to the palm of your left hand. Feel that nice stretch along the whole left side of your body. And then do that on the right. Feel yourself being hung from the sky by your right, as the rest of your body just loosens and relaxes. And we'll do that one more time on each side, pulling up with the left hand, trying to get that hand as flat as possible, and then pulling up from the right. Good, and from there, just bring both hands out to the side, feeling a nice stretch. Both hands, the fingers are pointing up, okay? And you're just gonna rotate your right hand down, and you're gonna bring the left hand up, again feeling like you're being hung from the sky, and look over at your right. And just feeling the stretch between the right and the left. Come back to the center. And then bring the left palm, rotate it, and go to the other direction. Look now behind your left, and again, feel like you're being pulled up to the sky by the right. Feel that nice stretch. Coming back to the center, we'll do it one more time. Rotate the right hand, bring the left up. Feel yourself. Get that nice stretch. Once again, noticing any asymmetries within the body. Rotate the left hand and bring the right up. Good. Now we're going to bring the hands out so that the palms are flat. And for this is one of my favorite exercises in band heating. We're going to rotate one arm internally as the other rotates externally. Okay, and once you've got this motion down, we're going to play with our intent to direct the energy. Okay, so beginning at the thumb, direct the energy through the thumb, up the right arm, across the back bridge and into the left arm, and through the thumb on the left. Now tune into the pointer finger, same thing. The middle finger. The ring finger. And the pinky finger. Notice if you can feel the energy flowing where your mind is directing it. And then take both hands, bring them to the center at the level of the heart, and press together and feel your whole body compressing and squeezing together. And then we're going to bring the feet apart a little bit, and we're going to twist the waist, and we're going to beat the chest and the kidneys, sending energy into the body. We're tapping here on the K27 point, which can give us some good energy. Sending energy into our kidneys and lower back. Be sure here that you're twisting from the hips so that your knees don't have a lot of movement here, okay? The twist is happening from the pelvis. Good. So next we're going to move into waist circles. So bringing your feet about hip to shoulder distance apart here. We're going to circle just from the waist, so our hips are going to stay relatively still. See if you can just move the upper body. Okay, move it on top of a more stable pelvis. You might feel yourself getting a little bit of spinal extension and flexion here, okay? And only doing what's comfortable for you. I have my hands on my hips here to try to keep them still. Okay. And try to make the movement as relaxed as you possibly can. Circling from the waist here. And then next we're going to move into inner hip circles. So for this one, we're going to bring our right hip forward, getting a nice stretch down. Actually, bring your feet about shoulder distance apart. Make sure you have your feet in the right space for you. And then bring the right hip forward, down, and the left hip forward, getting a nice stretch along the hip and down. And what you're going to feel here is like your body is making almost a figure eight, okay? And this is a really important movement, although it's not the easiest one to get. So give yourself some time, be patient with yourself as you learn this movement. Try to keep your knees in alignment so that all the motion comes from the inner hips. It's an important move because it's used in a lot of Qigong practices, okay? And then you can circle the other direction, push your left hip forward and down, right hip forward and down. Okay, making figure eights both to the right and to the left. And next we're going to move into outer hips. So bringing your feet together, you're going to lift up from the ground and just circle the hips, okay? So here you're circling the hips with the rest of your body staying relatively grounded and still. Circle 10 times to the right, and then switch and circle the outer hips 10 times to the left. Noticing any stuck spots. And now we're going to go into knee circles, bringing your feet together. Push back, keeping your spine nice and straight, making sure your knees are aligned with your ankles. And we're going to circle the knees 10 times to the right. And then 10 times to the left. Feeling any cracks or pops you get in the knees. Always feels really good to me. And finally, we're going to end with the ankles. So bringing your feet a little wider for this one, go ahead and circle the right ankle, almost like you're massaging the foot, the ball of the foot on the right side. This should feel really good to you. We're massaging right at the ball of the foot, the bubbling spring point, the kidney 1 point, okay? And circle both directions, finding the weight into that right foot, the ball of that right foot. The circle's kind of being done with both the hip, but also a little at the knee. And then the other side. Massaging out, noticing if there's any difference, body sensing into your body. And the other direction. Massaging out the ankle. And that's band heating.